It's just a fanfiction, a story written by me, your writer. This has nothing to do with mentioned idol, BTS members, real life event, behavior, or characteristics. Pics, sounds, videos, wizards used in this video are not mine. Credit goes to rightful owners. But the editing and the storyline is mine. Do not copy it. This is kind of dark story and have mentioned of sensitive topics. Read this at your own risk. You have been warned beforehand. Female protagonist Kim Wyan, nurse by profession. Male protagonist Kim Taehyung, businessman by profession, but just as a cover-up for being a mafia boss. Both of them are in their late 20s. They met each other 4 years ago. After dating for 2.5 years, they got married. At the beginning years, he had successfully hidden the truth of being a mafia from her and her family, but due to sudden circumstance, she got noted about it 8 months ago. Since then, she no longer thinks of him deserving of her honesty, and their happy marriage crashed. She asked numerous times to divorce her because she couldn't digest the fact that her husband is into illegal activities, on top of that, deceiving her for years. In the beginning of the story, we see him getting ready to go to his business meeting while looking at his wife, who was pretending to be asleep just to avoid him. When he went to kiss her forehead before leaving the bedroom, she didn't let him do so. It was an act of protest from her side, indicating nothing is normal between them. How much he avoids it, the problem is there. After he left from there, she gets up and memories of their first meetings, how they fell in love, how she finds her lies, how her mental health is at the edge due to his constant denial of leaving her go. Everything floats in her mind. She knows he is hurting too. He is hurting due to her this behavior, lack of affection towards him and arguing with him, but she couldn't do anything about it. Because a person who is dealing with her own demons, her mental health is on the edge, how can be quiet or be attentive to another one's mental health? It's very difficult to keep one's mind sane at this kind of situation, a situation where one feels like everyone around her is talking about her behind her back. One feels very small that time. We can clearly see it took a toll on her mental health knowing her husband is into illegal activities, and it took a toll on him knowing she wants to leave him. Just he was stronger than her to take control over himself, but both royally ignored each other's mental health. As the story proceeds, we can see her tricking the bodyguards he assigned just to escape him. It was hard for her to leave everything, her love, her parents, her degrees, her identity. But still, she did that. As I said in the story, she needed to do this to leave. That time, this was the only made sense to her. Only thing she assumed will keep her sane, will keep her alive. But eventually he found out her and took her back even though she left her wedding ring which has tracker in it behind. His reason behind doing this was same as hers. He needed this to leave. He too needed his only family, his love, to be with him. His heart was too greedy to let go of her, knowing fully how divine it feels to be loved by her, to have her by his side. Again, both of them royally ignored each other's mental health. After we go ahead of the story, we see both again having arguments regarding her escape and his work. The moment becomes too much heated as both of their anger rose. So he left the house cause he knew if he stayed there longer he would regret his actions later. She would too. After his departure, she cried her heart out. He was devastated too. He waited to both of them to calm down and only came back next day at night. She became shocked after he came back as he saw her sitting on the sofa, elegantly dressed for him. She even arranged candlelight dinner in their bedroom for him. She told the cook to make his favorite foods. She served both of them dinner like no argument happened between them. Not that he complained at this behavior, he loved it dearly. She also danced with him slowly on the melody of the song Still With You by Jungkook of BTS. She didn't choose to dance with him on this song randomly. She chose it because of its lyrics, words she wanted to convey to him, to make him understand. In a rapturous memory, the rain pours even when I dance alone. By the time this mist clears, I will run with my feet wet, so hug me then. After that, they made love and laid on the bed in each other's embrace. The atmosphere of the room was peaceful, but after some time he realized all this was calm before the storm. The storm which was hiding itself behind practical thinking in some sort of subconscious mind, and when it came out, it shook his entire world. It broke him mercilessly. He found her in a pool of her own blood, painting herself in it as if it was the most pleasurable sensation she ever felt. On the way of the hospital, he was trembling at the sight of her, knowing fully well that how much he reassures himself she is not going to leave him. Her condition seemed to tell otherwise. In that time, she told him not to contact her parents anymore. Also, placing her palm on his cheeks, lovingly she said, "We love you a lot. You not just your work." At the hospital, he heard the most shocking news about their unborn child, which unfortunately couldn't make it, just like its mother. Now it's up to you guys that you want to believe that she didn't know about her baby or the otherwise. I personally want to believe she knew but still chose that path because her mental health was too much damaged to think any other solution. Everyone, so this was the explanation of my one shot till death do us apart, also known as making love with the ruthless mafia husband after running away from him. I had written this one shot specifically to highlight the importance of mental health, how a person, a family gets destroyed after neglecting it. I guess if you guys just read a one shot more than 2 to 3 minutes, savored every line a writer had written, then I guess you will be satisfied with the story. If it's a series, I can understand we all want to know what will happen at the end of the episode. But a one shot, how can you guys so be eager to know the end instead of reading it fully? One more thing, most of the people commenting how his love was great but she didn't love him. That's why she gave him the most cruel punishment. I don't think so. If she never loved him, she wouldn't think a second and go to police to report him. If she didn't love him, she would have forced him to leave mafia which was passing through generations. I am sure the answer would be the husband does not have any right to dictate his wife's professional life. Then how can you expect her to dictate his work life? But on the other hand, she can definitely ask him to let her leave him because it's their relationship. She was as much as active participant in it as he was. I don't understand how can asking him to leave Mafia is a proof of she loves him, but asking divorce means she doesn't love him. Did she told him that after divorce she would not love him or he should stop loving her? Many also said her ego was too big than her love. She didn't love him, she loved his identity. Again, you did not notice how her mental health was bad that time. No one actually can tell which word or action can lead one person to depression. One seems perfectly fine from outside, but they can be numb, empty, damaged from inside. So do not ignore mental health, unless the end would be like her, which is totally wrong and sin. The end would be then filled with guilt and regrets. We shouldn't have said these things to that person. You all must have thought why I am explaining her point of view but not his, because you guys seem to understand his point of view already, so I didn't write it. Lastly, I want to say some of you commented why I am not uploading Mute Girl series or Obsession series. Honestly, because I want to convey one thing through the storyline, but no one actually noticed that. Also, after writing 15 to 30 minutes videos, people average view duration is 2 to 3 minutes. It's really disheartening. Comment section is filled with next part or bonus. After thinking very storyline for days, it's so exhausting. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you if you are still watching this. Have a nice day or night on whichever time you are watching this.